How long hast thou been a grave-maker?
Of all the days in the year, I came to that day our last King Hamlet overcame Fortinbras.
How long is that since?
Cannot you tell that? Every fool can tell that. It was the very day that young Hamlet was born, he that is mad and sent into England.
Why?
'Twill not be seen in him there. There, the men are as mad as he.
How came he mad?
Very strangely, they say.
How strangely?
Faith, e'en with losing his wits.
Upon what ground?
Why, here in Denmark. I have been sexton here, man and boy, 30 years.
How long will a man lie in the earth ere he rot?
Faith, if he be not rotten before he die, as we have many pocky courses nowadays that will scarce hold the laying in, he will last you some 8 year, 9 year. A tanner will last you 9 year.
Why he more than another?
Why, sir, his hide is so tanned with his trade that he will keep out water a great while, and your water is a sore decayer of your hoarse undead body. Here's a skull now. This skull has lain in the earth 23 years.
Whose was it?
A whoreson mad fellow's it was. Whose do you think it was?
Nay, I know not.
A pestilence on him for a mad rogue. He poured a flagon of Rhenish on my head once. This same skull, sir, was Yorick's skull, the king's jester.
This?
E'en that.
Let me see. Alas, poor Yorick! I knew him, Horatio, a fellow of infinite jest and most excellent fancy. He hath borne me on his back 1,000 times, and now, how abhorred in my imagination it is. My gorge rises at it. Here hung those lips that I have kissed I know not how oft. Where be your jibes now, your gambols, your songs, your flashes of merriment that wont to set the table a-roar? Not one now to mock your own grinning. Quite chapelain. Now get you to my lady's chamber and tell her, let her paint an inch thick, to this favour she must come. Make her laugh at that. Prithee, Horatio, tell me one thing.
What's that, my lord?
Dost thou think Alexander looked this fashion in the earth?
E'en so.
And smelt so. Pah!
E'en so, my lord.
To what base uses we must return, Horatio? Why may not imagination trace the noble dust of Alexander till he find it stopping a bunghole?
'Twere to consider too curiously, to consider so.
No faith, not a jot, but to follow him thither with modesty enough, and likelihood to lead it as thus. Alexander died, Alexander was buried, Alexander returneth to dust. The dust is earth, of earth we make loam. And why that of loam, whereto he was converted? May they not stop a beer barrel? Imperious Caesar, dead and turned to clay, might stop a hole to keep the wind away. Oh, that earth, which keeps the world in awe, should patch a wall to expel winter's flaw. But soft a while. Here comes the king, the queen, the courtiers. Who is this they follow, and with such maimed rites? This doth betoken the course they followed did with desperate hand forego its own life. 'Twas a some estate. Catch we a while a mark.
What ceremony else?
That is Laertes, a very noble youth, Mark.
What ceremony else?
Her obsequies have been as far and large as we have warranty. Her death was doubtful, and but that great command overswayed the order. She should in ground unsanctified have lodged till the last trumpet. For charitable prayers, shards, flints, and pebbles should be thrown on her. Yet here she is, allowed her virgin krantz, her maid instruments, and the bringing home of bell and burial.
Must there no more be done?
No more be done. We should profane the service of the dead to sing a requiem and such rest to her, as to peace-parted souls.
Lay her in the earth, and from her fair and unpolluted flesh may violets spring. I tell thee, churlish priest, a ministering angel shall my sister be when thou least howling.
What, the fair Ophelia?
Sweets to the sweets. Farewell, I hope thou shalt have been my Hamlet's wife. I thought thy bride bed to have decked, sweet maid, and not have strewed thy grave.
Oh, treble woeful, 10 times trebled on the cursed head, whose wicked deed thy most ingenious sense deprived thee of. Hold off the earth a while till I have caught her once more in mine arms. Now pile your dust upon the quick and dead, till of this flat a mountain you have made to o'ertop old Pelion, or the skyish head of blue Olympus.
What is he whose grief bears such an emphasis, whose phase of sorrow conjures the wandering stars, and makes them stand like wonder-wounded hearers? This is I, Hamlet the Dane.
The devil take thy soul!
Thou prayest not well. I prithee, take thy fingers from my throat. For though I am not splendid and rash, yet I have something in me, dangerous, which let thy wisdom fear. Hold off thy hand!
Pluck them asunder!
Hamlet! Hamlet!
Gentlemen! Good, my lord, be quiet.
Why, I will fight with him upon this theme until my eyelids will no longer wag.
Oh, my son, what theme?
I loved Ophelia. 40,000 brothers could not, with all their quantity of love, make up my sum. What wilt thou do for her?
Oh, he is mad, Laertes.
For love of God, forbear him!
Swoon, show me what thou do. Wound weep, wound fight, wound fast, wound tear thyself, wound jig up easel, eat a crocodile. I'll do it. Dost thou come here to whine, to outface me with leaping in her grave, be buried quick with her? And so will I. And if thou prate of mountains, let them throw millions of acres on us, till our ground, singeing his pate against the burning zone, make Ossa like a wart. Nay, and thou mouth, all rent as well as thou.
This is mere madness, and thus a while the fit will work on him, anon as patient as the female dove, when that her golden couplets are disclosed, his silence will sit drooping.
Hear you, sir, what is the reason that you use me thus? I loved you ever, but it is no matter. Let Hercules himself do what he may. The cat will mew, and the dog will have his day.
I pray thee, good Horatio, wait upon him. Strengthen your patient in our last night's speech. We'll put the matter to present push. Good Gertrude, set some watch over your son. This grave shall have a living monument. An hour of quiet shortly shall we see. Till then, in patience our proceeding be.